Welcome back to In the Den, and we're in the Grizzlies clubhouse as we're getting ready for 4th of July week. A lot of busyness, and one guy who's been a staple of the Grizzlies lineup that you're going to be able to see when the Grizzlies host the Modesto Nuts this weekend, starting on Friday night, will be Tommy Hopfe, Fresno State product from Bakersfield. You have now had half a season after making your pro debut as a Fresno Grizzly, but has there been a tradition for you, an adjustment for you in life outside of just adjusting to the professional game?
I mean, the adjustment of life is the exact same, to be honest with you. I'm living in the exact same town I've been in the last 4 years, so I don't think anything life-wise has changed. Obviously, the baseball side of things has changed. I'm playing 6 games instead of 4 every week, so that's a little different on the body, and then obviously just trying to stay neutral with the mind. But other than that, everything's honestly about the same as it was the last 4 years.
Well, one thing that wasn't the same, you had a home run off of a big leaguer a couple of weeks ago in Stockton on the rehab. 5 home runs on the season. You have been preparing to be in the lineup every day. You've also been preparing to be versatile in the outfield and the infield. I know you did some catching in spring training. And you're a switch hitter, so you do twice the batting practice as most people. What is that preparation been like for you, and what was the adjustment period to be like, hey, I got to get a little bit of time everywhere?
Yeah, I think the adjustment thing, honestly, the biggest for me has just been working the infield. Obviously, at school, I only played first, and that's not really anything serious. Being more in a primary position like second, I have to, really be locked in every inning. So it's a lot more work infield-wise, working on the hands every day. And then there's for sure a lot more rehab I have to do on the body. Obviously, doing a little more body-wise. The arm feels a lot better than it did in college. I don't have to pitch anymore, so that's really nice. But other than that, it's just trying to stay neutral with it, try to stay healthy, make sure you're in the training room every day, and just try to keep a clear mind, honestly, regardless of how things are going.
I've noticed a little bit different throwing motion at second base from you. Have first baseman said you got to tone it down? You can't be coming out with the closer mentality on throws?
Honestly, I have no idea about that. If it's changed, it's purely accidental.
Okay. So you talk about preparation, you talk about just playing all the spots. Who has helped you adjust to the infield more than anything else?
Galvy's got a lot to do with it, obviously. Being in spring training with them, I was kind of on him about helping me get better and be, not just such a liability over there at second. So he's been a big help with me, helping me along those lines. And then Doug Bernier, our infield coordinator, has been a big one for me, helping me. And then it's the day-to-day. Obviously, all of our coaches that are hitting the fungos during BPs, I have to give them praise. And I don't know, they've helped me out a lot to, hopefully be a better infielder along the way.
You're doing so much in the field, whether it's outfield or infield, and DH is obviously a little bit different preparation because you're preparing for that every day. But I know in spring training you were catching a little bit too, and you were catching bullpens when you got here to Fresno. Is that kind of in the back pocket still? Is that something?
I think it's a last resort thing for us. Obviously I think I can catch, but it's not something I want to do every day. But if I'm needed to do so, then I would do it.
Well, talk about that versatility. When you see yourself advancing in your pro career, is that something you want to be known for, the ability to play any spot?
For sure. I want to be able to, be a plug and play, be able to play wherever. So I'm always in the lineup, and I think it'll help me having a longer career. I'm not trying to play this game for 1 year or 2 years. I'm trying to make a living out of this and play for the rest of my life, So having that in my back pocket, I think will help me down the road.
Is there anybody that you draw from that you've seen, whether it was at Fresno State or just in the area, or even a professional who is as versatile as you are, that you've tried to implement some of their stuff into your game?
I don't think I've ever, versatility-wise, no. Obviously, there's some guys I look up to hitting-wise that I want to model my game after, but when it comes to the defensive side of things, it's kind of just been on my own, to be honest. I'm not really there's not a big role model that I'm looking forward to. So it's just kind of, being able to play everything, and I don't really have anybody specific that I look up to. Obviously, there's some guys that are really good in certain positions, but I don't have anybody specific.
Well, I know a lot of people in the Valley look up to you, have watched you play since high school, have watched you play at Fresno State, and are thrilled you're here. When you've seen these big home crowds, we had a big one opening night, we had a big one Star Wars night, we're expecting big attendance for 4th of July on Friday. What has that done for you? And knowing that there's a lot of Fresno State hats in the crowd and people who are supporting Tommy Hopfe.
Yeah, it means a lot. Anytime I see a Fresno State hat, I'm always going to show some love. So make sure you get out there, wear your Fresno State hats. But It means a lot. You know, there's a lot of people that I have supporting me, you know, regardless of not even family. You know, there's people in this local valley that have supported me throughout the way, and they've shown their love the entire way, and that's something I'm extremely grateful for, and I can't show enough love for it.
Made your debut last year after 4th of July, got drafted after 4th of July, all that stuff. But you've heard about it. You excited for a big crowd and a big atmosphere for that game?
For sure, it's going to be exciting. You know, playing in front of fans is always the best. You know, it's a great atmosphere, and the hits mean a little more. You know, the outs mean a little more. Regardless, it's the same game, but the vibes are different. It's a little more exciting, so it's always fun to play in front of that.
Well, and even, you know, this show, we have the clip at the beginning of your home run opening night and just the buzz in the crowd and everybody feeling like you're part of that, right? Like that story, your time in the Valley. Looking forward to the second half of the season. Where's your area for growth? What are you focused on in terms of getting better and just making that next step forward?
I mean, it's just staying with the process of things. I trust my abilities, you know, and not trying to wave away from that or change anything. Just keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully those hits start to fall and not go in the gloves, you know.
Well, it's fun to watch you. It's fun to get to talk to you, Tommy. Really do appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That's Fresno Grizzlies' Tommy Hopfe. We're going to be right back with more In the Den right after this.